I'm here with my in-laws, Val and
Hi.
Jan. Say hi.
Hello.
That's
Hello.
Jan, and that's Val. And so you guys are out with your grandchildren and your daughter and your brother-in-law, and it feels like after 5 months of being locked down, you guys have just had it. Is that a fair assessment, Val?
Oh yes, we've had it.
Yeah, we also don't trust the statistics. You know, you get all these confusing numbers, and like California has got some of the lowest death rates. Everybody is trying to look at the new cases that have come up, but you're going to get new cases if you test more. The death rate per thousand is one of the lowest of all the states, and yet we are one of the most restricted. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
So you feel like you guys abided by the rules for 5 months, and now Val, you've had it?
I've had it. It's stupid.
No, we
It's
still
now-
abide because
We're still abiding by the rules. We've got the masks, we've got everything, and we're doing the right thing. But it's time to go back to normal. People have got to get back to normal.
Now, I hear a lot of people say, but wait a minute, hold on. We have to protect the old people. I mean, Jan, you're ancient. You're 80 and not in great health. And Val, you've had a lot of health issues over the years. And
That's true.
And so, in theory, you guys are in the most vulnerable category. That doesn't scare you?
No,
no,
not
it
one
doesn't
bit.
scare us. I mean, you know,
No.
one of these days you're going to die. And I don't think now's the time anyway.
Well, it's just, why worry about this? We've lived through other pandemics, and we've never worried about it. We've never shut the world down for another pandemic. We lived in Africa, and we had SARS, and we had AIDS, and we had all kinds of things, and we've never done this.
So, let's say that your last few years on Earth, because let's face it, we're all going to die, are going to be very, very restricted. You're not going to be able to have a normal life. You're lucky even just to see your grandkids on occasion. Is protecting you from maybe dying slightly earlier than you would normally? Is it worth it?
No, absolutely not. It's silly.
Jan, how do you?
Because
I don't know. We take precautions,
we're
you know,
cautious, but
and
I
you
think-
don't know how really this virus is transmitted. So, you know, if we are unlucky and we get into contact with somebody that has had it, it's going to be a problem.
But your view is that it's worth the risk?
yes, sure.
Well,
Why
it's
not?
worth the risk to
I mean-
go with my grandkids, who've already probably had the virus, that didn't even know about it. You know, you only live once, and you enjoy your family.
Yes.
Feels like, Val, you're a little bit more done than Jan. Is that true?
Yes,
Why do you think that is?
because I think the children are suffering. I think families are suffering. I see the other suffering much worse than the COVID. All the other things we've forgotten about. People aren't going to church. It's a big thing. People aren't going to school. The children aren't going to school. They need to be at school.
Yeah.
There are other things a lot worse than the COVID for all of society. Society's all locked down, and society is going crazy.
So,
But you know, Val touched on a very important issue, and that is teaching. I honestly, at this point, don't understand why kids can't go to school. The mortality rate for children
It's very
under
low.
14 is a fraction of 1%. Now, obviously, the teachers can get it, but again, as long as the teacher is under 50, the
Okay, but-
likelihood
but-
of death is very, very small.
it's even smaller than you said it was, but the people would say, well, hold on. If they go back to school, if your granddaughter goes to school and picks this up someplace, then has a visit with you, then you're going to get it, and you're going to be far more vulnerable to dying. What about that?
It's a good point.
Good point, but it doesn't matter. It's more important that children are at school, because children are missing out on socialization, on sports, on these children are not learning. You can put things online. Young children do not learn online. I don't think they're learning much of anything. We've got lots of teachers in the family, and they'll all tell you kids are not learning the way they should.
And elderly teachers can be protected. They can take sort of a long-term holiday
Yeah.
until this virus is addressed properly. But they don't need to, they should have the exemption of not having to go to classes and teach.
So if your grandchildren went back to school, which right now they're not, would that impact your behavior towards them? Would you
No.
isolate yourself from them?
No. No.
That would just be part of the risk of life.
Yes.
And if it turned out badly, that's just the way
That's the way it